Hello everyone, welcome back. I am Raghvin Mishra and in today's video we will automate the test cases using PageObjectModel design pattern in Selenium and Python to create clean and maintainable test script. In Selenium, if you want to separate your page logic from your test, you should use POM. Let us take a look at this diagram and understand what is non-POM and what is POM. Well, you have been using non-POM for automating your test cases so far, wherein you have kept all web element and method and test method in one class. If someone is going to work on your class, he will find it very difficult to use, read and maintain, right? So to overcome from this approach, we have come up with PageObjectModel design pattern. In the PageObjectModel design pattern, we have separated the page logic from your test. So the class A is PageObject class and the class B is your test class. Okay, so you have to identify, you have to create any page, right? You have to create a page class for any UI you are going to automate. So here consider this as your application. So here we have landed to the login page and this page is qualified as a page object. Okay, so now while automating the scenarios, login scenarios, we will be actually creating the login page object class for this particular page, login page. Okay, and inside which we will be actually storing all the XPath and we will be creating the method, okay, to interact with those XPath, okay, those locators basically. So here I'm going to automate two test cases, which is valid and invalid test cases using PageObjectModel approach. Okay, let us go to your PyCharm IDE, and inside which I have created a Selenium Python project, and let me create two directories. Okay, one is for page object and another one is for test scripts. Okay, so in the page object, since I said we are going to automate the login scenario, so I will be creating one object class for the login. Okay, login page. Each page will have its corresponding object class, page object class. So I will be creating one page object class for the login page, and let me write POM. Okay, so that we can identify this is my POM implementation, inside which what I will do, I will actually go and create a class. So before that, let me just import by module from Selenium .WebDriver common by import by module. Okay, and let me create the class, okay, which will be my login, okay, login page or something, anything you can keep. This name should be valid user defined name. Okay, and this is my constructor underscore and self, then I will be passing driver. Okay, so I'm going to write self.driver, which I will be passing it from my test class. Okay, so while initializing the driver, I will be passing that driver object to this constructor. Okay, so here I can write username field, and I can define one tuple. Inside the tuple, I will be writing the how to find the locator. Okay, by name I will be finding. So username, that we know for sure that we can identify this particular object with the name locator, right? So if I may have to replace this, see, it is actually name, username. Okay, so we can identify that web element, that particular object or that particular web element using name strategy. Okay, with this by module, let me use Control D to copy paste, and I will be using the same for the password. Okay, so password, and let me copy. You can use selector hub plugin to copy or find the XPath or locators basically. So see, for the password it is password. Let me copy one more, Control D. I've copy pasted. So this is going to be my login. Okay, login button, and then I can find, maybe it is not possible with the locator. Okay, if it is possible with the locator ID, then it is fine. Otherwise we can use ID attribute is not available. Okay, so in this case we can find the XPath. Let us see if it is available with the XPath. It is all up to you to find the however you want to find the your web element. I mean, however you want to find the locators or XPath of your web element. So inside single quote you can't use one more single quote, so you have to give it in the double quote. And yeah, let us record one more for invalid thing. Okay, so this invalid credentials, let me find the XPath for this also. So self invalid creds equal to by.xpath, and then I can identify that with this. Okay, now we are done with the constructor. We have defined the constructor wherein we have actually initialize we have found the XPath, okay, of the locators, and we have initialized with the current instance of that class. I mean, as a current instance. So anytime you are creating the object of this login page, okay, I mean, you are going to give that username and password. I mean, your given username and password will be stored to the current instance of the class. Okay, this constructor will be called and it will be initializing like this. Okay, now we can create function like enter username. So here we will be actually inserting the actual username and password, right, which we are passing it from the test class. Okay, so what we are going to pass is the username, and then we can use self.driver, and we will be using find. I mean, you may see some of the automation will not be coming up because we are writing our implementation here. So make sure you are using the right syntax. Okay, so here I am using the unpacking the tuple. This is tuple, and now I am using this self, okay, followed by asterisk. So with this we will be unpacking the tuple. Okay, so this will get replaced with this one by dot name and username. Okay, and then I can send keys, and I can give username. Okay, let me just select this and press Ctrl D. Okay, here, and then I can write it for password. Okay, and I can also write it for login. Okay, so here you have to pass the password, and this should be your password field. Okay, and here it should be password. Since we have copied pasted, so we didn't change. Now we have changed it already, and then you have to click login. Okay, nothing is required, no need to pass except self. So here everything is all fine, and here we are going to just replace this with the self dot login button. Okay, and this is going to replace again as like this. It is again going to replace that as take self dot login underscore button with this whole. Okay, so we are we are creating defining the tuple, and then we are unpacking the tuple using asterisk. Okay, so we are good with this. Now we can create the one parent method for the login. Okay, wherein we have actually we have to pass username and the password actually. So this is going to take the username and password from the test class, and then it will call the enter username method, and it will actually give the supply the username to this. Okay, and rest everything is defined over here in this function or method, whatever you want to say. Okay, there is slight difference, but yeah, you can actually give the password. You can enter the password also. Okay, enter password. You can call these two methods, enter username and enter password, and then you can call self dot click login or something. This is the method, right? So now you are ready with your page login page POM class. Okay, this is your class wherein you have captured the locators and you have kept them in the constructor, so that every time someone is from the test method, if anyone is creating the login page object, these will be initialized with the current instance, okay, of the class. Okay, so this will be have become your class instance variable. All right. Okay, now here these are four methods are there. So with this method you will be able to access the username. You are unpacking, and this particular statement is equivalent to, now after unpacking the tuple, this will become the driver dot find element and by dot name dot send keys and username. Okay, so whatever username it is receiving from this. Okay, and this username is being received from the test method. Okay, and this one is receiving from here. So whatever is receiving from the test method will actually go here, and it is passing the same username to here, and it will be executing this statement. Okay, similarly for the password and similarly for the click login. So here I can give click also. Okay, that we have missed. Now it is fine. Okay, so you are ready with this. Now you have to create the test script and create the object of this class. Let me create one Python file, test class file, and we can give login, maybe login test. Okay, and I can mention login test class, not the page object class. Okay, so inside which I will be actually importing the PyTest. I will import from Selenium. I will import WebDriver from Selenium.WebDriver common by. I will import by module. Then this is most important thing. Okay, so from page object package or directory, I'm importing the login page. Okay, so this is the class I have created, and this is my class inside the page object. All right, so I'm going to create the object of this class which is there in this package. Okay, your page object class, page object directory, this login page object class is there. Okay, now Now what you would do, you will be actually writing one fixture. Okay, so this is your decorator for the function, and you will set the scope for function. Okay, let me just give in the double quote so that it will not throw the error. And then inside this you will be writing one setup method, and you will be actually initializing your driver here. Okay, so which you are going to pass it to the page object class constructor. Okay, when you are creating the object of this particular class, login page class. Okay, so web driver dot chrome, and it gets the instance of that. Okay, so we are creating one instance of the Chrome browser. Okay, and that is controlled by the driver object. Okay, so this is holding this instance, basically fresh instance of the Chrome. All right, so now since we have control, we can access that web page which we are going to automate. So this is my application URL, okay, which we are going to automate. I mean, like we are going to automate certain scenario inside this particular page. So now we can do a couple of more things, like we can maximize the window. We can maximize here also. Anything is fine. You have already created the instance of that Chrome class, and then you can just put some implicit wait for maybe 10 seconds, and then you can just yield the driver, and then later on close it. Okay, so driver, so yielding means you are giving the driver back to the function, and once the function is executed, again the control will come back to the setup method. Okay, and where you have defined this decorator, right, which is fixture in this case, and the scope of that fixture is function. So meaning every time you are executing the function, like there might be multiple function or multiple test cases written inside this, so all one at a time will actually call this setup method, and after executing after completing that function or end-to-end scenarios or whatever test cases you have automated within that function, the control will again go back to this setup method, and it will resume the installation. I mean resume the execution from here, and it will actually close the driver. Here you can quit the driver. Okay, so you're good with this. Now it is very easy, like since you have defined everything inside that. So this is your test login. Okay, so I can say valid login, inside which I can pass setup. Okay, setup. Okay, this method will be actually passed to this particular test case, okay, as a argument, so that we can initialize the driver with that instance. Okay, driver with whatever a statement we have written over here, right? Including this initialization, it will be holding the current state of that. Okay, so now I can assign a setup to this, and then I can call login page. Okay, and then I can create the object of the login page. So how would I create the object of login page? This is that. Okay, so this way we can, now here we can pass the driver to the login page. Okay, so a driver will go here, and it will actually go here, and it will be initialized. Okay, it will be passed on to the constructor, and it will take the control, and it will get everything. Okay, access to this particular class. Since it is the object of this particular class, so I wanted to pass the driver okay, from my test method, and now with that object of that login page class, we will be able to access the instance variable and the method of that login page class. Right now here, what you have to do, you can just click on, you can just call with the login page, of course, you can call login method, and you can pass the admin, which is your actual username, and two argument methods is there, no, and here you have to pass admin 123. So this will go here to this particular method, and you are passing username and password. That username password will actually go here into this method, and it will be actually executing. Okay, so you are executing these statement. Okay, and this particular, as I have already explained, this is actually unpacking the tuple. Okay, and this is equivalent to this. Okay, so why we are using tupling, why we are using asterisk? Because you are this time you are sure that there are two arguments into this particular basically the method. You are passing a two argument. In case if you're not sure like how many elements are there in the tuple, right, you can always use asterisk. Okay, so it will accordingly take the and consider all these arguments. Okay, so here you are unpacking, and you are unpacking two elements, right? It is very equal to a list, but this is a special feature of this particular tuple, how you are unpacking the tuple here. All right, so with that, let me just execute this and see how it goes. See, it is actually launching the browser. It will wait for 10 seconds. And it is passed. See, we have not added any insert, assert. So we can also add that assert. And so for example, orange HRM should be there in the title. Okay, driver title. So we can inspect that, and we can put that in the assertion also. Okay, so here if you see, the orange HRM is there in the title. So I can write like driver title. So this is my if condition. If this is fine, then the test will be passed. Otherwise, assertion, I can mention something in the else, assertion failed or something. Okay, and similarly you can create one more method called test invalid login, and here you can pass something invalid, right? And this way again you are actually making sure whether that even after providing the invalid credentials, whether the title of that web application is orange HRM is not. Or you can just mention the XPath also. Okay, you can mention something like whatever you got some invalid credentials, right? So that you can mention here. Okay, assert invalid credentials in what, that XPath. Okay, for now let us stick to this and run this test case. Now it is executing that invalid login, only one. We will run it again, no problem. Yeah, it is also passed. Okay, let us run it again since the control was here. All right, so now we are executing this test again. And it has been passed. Okay, is there anything we can do about this? Let us run the test from here, from the beginning. So we have seen both the tests are passed, and now it is executing all the tests together. And these tests are automated using PageObjectModel design pattern. All right, so both of them are passed now. Okay, so this is how you can, and you can put any assertion you want, right? You can refer my previous video in this playlist, and you will get good hands-on with how assertion works and how we can validate the output. So that's it from this video, and I hope you have liked the explanation and learned from this video. Please do like and subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends, and also share the feedback in comment section. and I will see you in the next video. Till then, keep learning and thanks for watching.